how much does a pregnancy cost in Norway, one of the richest countries in the world, who is also known for great healthcare? In this video, I'll break down what I've spent so far and how it's been affecting our personal finances. I need to point out that every pregnancy is so different, as is birth and postpartum. So this is my perspective. So let's start at the very beginning, trying to get pregnant. So I think I bought about 5 2-packs of Clearblue tests, which was like really early tests, because I just wanted clear answers right away. I didn't want like the strips with the 2 lines, because I just wanted really clarity, pregnant or not pregnant. So in total for the test, 1,545 Norwegian kroners. We did try for some time, but I didn't really use ovulation tests before the 2 last tries, I think. And these I inherited from a friend that just got pregnant and had some left. But if I were to pay for those, I think that would be around 119 kroners for like a pack of 10 tests. I also started taking folic acid supplements as we were trying, and until I think the first 3 months of the pregnancy, and that came down to a cost of 154 kroners. So in Norway you have your first ultrasound checkup in between weeks 12 and 14 at the hospital. That is the first time you see your baby and even know it's alive, if you don't go private. We went private in week 7 when the app said that you could hear the heartbeat on an ultrasound, because finding out at 4 weeks we were not going to wait 10 more weeks to know if there's even a heartbeat. That first private ultrasound cost 1,350 kroners. The other ultrasound in Norway that you get for free, that is also the last one, is about week 20, I think. But we were impatient yet again to know the gender, I think myself in particular, so we booked another private scan. Went in for that in week 17 and found out that it was a girl, and that cost us 1,500 kroners. But we did get a third checkup in the hospital in week 31, just because my placenta was in the front and it was way down, so it was actually blocking the way out. So they had to just check that it had moved, and it had, so no problem there. And it was great to just see her again one last time. I think it's so weird that you supposedly are just going to see your baby twice in such a long time. So I think the private bookings was so worth it to just see her and just know that everything was okay. So every checkup at the hospital is free. So is all your doctor's appointment regarding pregnancy and all your checkups there. And you're also assigned a midwife that is close to you. And all of those appointments are free as well. And they include 2 2-hour courses about breastfeeding and birth, which is really nice. But you do need to bring a urine test to every appointment to your doctor or midwife. So all of those small containers does cost some money. So I think I bought around 8 or 10, and that came to about 200 kroners. There's also a vaccine program in Norway where you get most of the vaccines for free, but the one regarding the RS virus, which I think it's called in English as well, is not part of the program yet. So I paid about 2,500 to take that. And I did also have to pay for like the tools that they used and the supplements regarding some tests. Like when I took the glucose test in week 28 to see if I have diabetes when pregnant, I paid for the sugar and the needle for the blood tests and that kind of stuff, and that came to 432 kroners. Now let's talk about maternity wear and the things I had to get. I tried to buy minimal of things, and I used like hair tie for a while to just make my jeans a bit bigger. But when it came to a certain point, I couldn't wear it as that either. So I needed a pregnancy jeans because I had like the first half of the year I was pregnant, or at least the first 5 months, it was cold. So I had to have at least one jeans. So I bought one jeans, and then I had some stretchy pants. One of the first thing that gets bigger, at least for me, it's probably different, but that was my breasts, which was so unnecessary. Like, I don't really need them before now, like soon. Why do they have to grow so much in the beginning? And it's just so painful as well. But because of that, I needed to buy bigger bras, and that was a lot more supportive and comfortable because it was just so painful to wear clothes and even just walk. But I tried to keep it minimal, so I bought just 2 bigger, more supportive bras, and then I used sports bras for a while because I have some of them that aren't that tight, that I use for like strength training and not when I'm not running. So luckily I didn't need to buy more than 2. I also bought a bigger workout tights or pants, which I'm actually wearing right now. It has these flared bottoms, just because that is really nice to have at home. And the last month has been really hot, so I needed to buy a couple of dresses and a skirt as well. Support stockings for the water and swelling in your legs, and some new bikinis as well. I bought some of it secondhand and some of it new, and looking back, I think I would maybe allow myself to buy a little bit more because I've worn the same outfits so many times, and I've also borrowed my husband's clothing because those fit. But then you don't feel really great when you walk outside. When you go to the store, you feel like a tent. And it's altogether 4,347 kroners. And then we have the superficial stuff like bio oil and shower oil and lotions. That came to about 726. These are mostly things that I already use, but I have definitely used more than I usually use. It's not that I'm afraid of stretch marks and trying to prevent them, but I think you should lotion and oil up your stomach in particularly a lot of the time, just because you feel, even though you don't have stretch marks or you get stretch mark, either way, you feel that your skin is working hard. Like, it is tight, and it's just really nice to like put lotion on, So I just do it more regularly. Like, I think I probably do my stomach 3 to 4 times a day, just when it feels a bit tight. Then it's all the other stuff like preparations and also some health things, like just to treat like side effects of pregnancy. I've been very lucky. I haven't had a lot of problems or side effects. I know there's a lot that you can get. So I've just been very, very lucky, knock on wood. So from my friend that I also got the ovulation test, she's a really great friend, I also borrowed a book about birth and breathing techniques, and I've also gotten tablets for heartburn. And heartburn is such a better word for what it is, because in Norway, directly translated, we call it throat burn. And I've never had that before. It was a completely new experience, and it was so painful. And it was painful like in my upper stomach area and my chest, and I was like Googling frantically one night because I couldn't sleep. I couldn't lay down without like feeling like I had to puke or even get like some, fluid that was like puke in my mouth. But after Googling for a while, I found out that it had to be throat burn. But I was like, why the fuck do we call it that? But thank God for those tablets. Those really worked for me and has saved so many nights of sleep. What a great invention I didn't pay for those. I got it from my friend, but if I had paid for those myself, it would have been around 285 kroners. So the only regret I have so far, I think, is not buying one of the pregnancy pillows. I thought that that wouldn't be worth it because so many of the baby things and mom things are overpriced and overhyped and just made for us to spend more money in this vulnerable time of our life, which is horrible. And it worked really well with just regular pillows for a while. But it got to a point where I had 8 pillows in my bed, like one between my knees, one in the front, one in the back, everywhere. And both me and my husband, it wasn't great. And with the heat that has been this last months, it was horrible. I didn't want like any fabric on my body, really, but I had to use those pillows. So I thought to myself that next time I'm definitely buying one of those pillows. And then I shared that experience with my Instagram and TikTok followers. And so many of them said, you have to buy that pillow. And that it wasn't too late to buy it because you can use it for breastfeeding and stuff like that as well. So I had a lot of people in my DM saying I could borrow their pillow or I could buy it from them for those of them that didn't use it anymore. But many people commented that they still use their pillow like 5-6 years after pregnancy, because if you're a side sleeper, it's really great for that. So I was convinced, and now one of my followers are actually gifting me their pillow. So they are sending it to me as we speak for free. Like, people are so kind. I can't really believe it. That's so nice. And I can't wait for it to arrive. So the total came to 12,754 Norwegian kroners. That's about 1,100 USD and about 1,020 euros, which I think is very reasonable, all things considered. I honestly feel incredibly lucky to live in a country where most of the essential care is free and covered. All of my doctor's appointment and midwife and the birth course and a lot of support and help during pregnancy is free. I know that in many parts of the world, pregnancy and birth can be financially overwhelming, and I don't take for granted that we have access to a healthcare system that offers so much without huge bills attached. That being said, I really wanted to share this breakdown just to show how this has affected our finances, because this is a personal finance channel mostly, and show that even in a country with strong public health care, there are still costs. And I think we have been on the lower end of the spectrum. Like, I have bought minimal things, and I have also, not have that many issues, luckily. Every expense we have had during this, I think, has been worth it. And I don't feel bad about anything. The only thing left now is birth, which is also free, like financially, not free of pain. But I'm actually very excited and I look forward to it a lot. I look forward to meeting my daughter, and I think it will be a very cool experience when it's over. If you're pregnant now or planning to be or has already been through this, I would love to hear your experience. Where are you from in the world and what was your expenses, and has anything surprised you about the costs of things? Let me know in the comments, and thank you so much for watching.